Hello, welcome back children. In our previous video, we studied about the poem The Fly. We understood the poem with its explanation with its word meanings. Now today we are going to discuss all the question and answers. So before we go with the question and answers, children, let's discuss the small summary of the poem. Let's revise the poem once. So, The Fly, the poem written by Walter de la Mare, he was a British writer. He writes short story and novels. Many of his poems and stories were written for children. He received several awards for his literary works. In this poem, the speaker thinks about how things that are small to us would look enormous to the fly. He uses different imagery to explain how everything would look different to the tiny creatures. Now children, we'll go with the question and answers. For that, you open page number 23. We'll go with the first one, answer these questions. So the first one is, a rosebud like a feather bed. This line is taken from the poem. And the first question is, why would a rosebud look like a feather bed to the fly? So a rosebud would look like a feather bed to the fly because the fly is very small and things that are small to us look large to it. The rosebud would look like a feather bed because it is soft and velvety. It's like velvet to the fly. Question number 2. What would the thorn of the rose look like to the fly? So, the thorn of the rose would look like a spear or a long thin weapon to the fly. Question 2. Where can the fly see itself? The fly can see itself in the dewdrop, as the dewdrop would be big enough and the fly can see its image in that dewdrop. Question 3. As fierce as coal of fire. Again this line is taken from the poem. And the question is, what would look like coal of fire to the fly? So, a tiny mustard seeds look like coals of fire to the fly. Question number 4. What would look like a lofty hill to the fly? Why do you think the speaker uses the word lofty? So children, a loaf of bread would look like a lofty hill to the fly. So the speaker uses the word lofty to explain how tall the loaf would look to the tiny fly. Question number 5. Why would a fly be afraid of a wasp? So a fly would be afraid of a wasp because a wasp may be bigger than the fly. A wasp can sting. So the fly may be afraid that the wasp would hurt it. Question number 6. How is salt compared to lumpkins? So both salt and lumpkins are white in color. Although the specks of salt are very small, they would look large enough to the tiny fly. So the fly would be able to see them as clearly as a shepherd can see lumpkins. Yes children. Now we'll go with the next question, that is think and answer. So this think and answers are based on the logical skills. So you have to think about it and write the answers according to your perspective, your point of view. So first question is, suppose a fly came and sat down on the decks. What would the different thing on the decks would look like to the fly? So you have to think about it. How the things which are kept on the decks. So how it would look to the fly. You have to give your point of view in this answers. Question number 2. How do you think a fly hears different sounds? Do you think it can hear sounds that that we cannot? What sounds would those be? You think, children, and write the answers in your own words. Now children, come to the next page. Similes. What is a simile? A simile is used to compare one thing to the other. We have learnt many similes like a rosebud like a feather bed. So rosebud is compared with feather bed. A hair like a golden wire. So hair is compared with golden wire. So such words are called similes. Now children, you have to complete the exercise given in this page. You have to choose the correct word from the box and complete the similes. Yes children. Now your today's homework is, we have discussed all the question and answers. So your homework is to write all the answers in your own words and you can send that for correction to us. Thank you children. This much for today, and we'll meet soon with another topic in our next video.